Click record, mute everybody. All right. Whew. So, welcome everyone to my presentation on the 7 secrets to crafting or creating your perfect lead magnet. This presentation is primarily for business owners who either are creating a lead magnet for the first time or want to change or update their existing lead magnet. So if that's you, you're definitely in the right place. And the goals for this session are that I'm going to teach you my lead magnet strategy. And then we're going to walk through different examples that I have to show you. And we're going to actually create your lead magnet right here and right now. And then I will show you a little bit of an example campaign that I did on how you can actually deliver that lead magnet. So let's get right in. First things first, I always like to state the obvious. One, it's Wednesday, it's hump day. Friday will be the day that I'll be presenting this at the end of the conference. And also, it's 7 o'clock in the evening, or at least in Eastern Standard Time it is. So I realize everybody is done with the workday. You know, you're exhausted, it's the middle of the week, I get that. But if you're here and, you know, you've taken the time to invest in yourself and invest in your business to actually be here on the phone live, or even if you're listening to a recording later, you know, you've taken the next step to putting these pieces together for your business and really making things work for you. So I just want to take a minute to acknowledge and thank you for being here. Next, my promise to you is that if you stay with me, if you're in this presentation, we are going to get your lead magnet done, or at least as close to done as possible. I want to make sure that you leave with something tangible. I know a lot of times, and entrepreneurs and marketers especially, we're all sort of guilty of this. We go to conferences, we sit in a conference for 3 or 4 days in a row, and we leave with a notebook full of what could be million-dollar ideas. But then we get home, we get back to our business, we may or may not actually implement any of those. And it's just a really broken kind of model. So I want to make sure that you are leaving today with something tangible. And that is really truly my gift to you for taking the time to be here with me today. Speaking of, who am I? Who is this person talking to you? Why should you pay attention? What's important about me? So I'm Jillian Kendrick. I have been an Infusionsoft certified partner for over 3.5 years. I did Infusionsoft University prior to that, and I've worked in and around Infusionsoft for about 8 years now. I call myself a business success strategist. I own Informed Marketing Solutions, and my primary business, I do fulfillment and coaching and consulting for different businesses to help them get more leads, convert those leads into customers, and really grow their business online using Infusionsoft. Even more important than me, though, is the clients that I work with. And I want to talk to you about one of my success stories. So Emma is a recent client of mine. Emma has a website, has products to sell, but she was only selling those products to the early adopters, like the people who would immediately come to her website and say, okay, you have what I want, I'm going to buy now. She really wasn't doing anything to follow up. And other than a couple of YouTube videos or a few blog posts, maybe, she was really missing the opportunity to serve and engage her leads who weren't quite ready to buy. So Emma needed a way to provide that value to her leads before they actually spent money with her. And so we created a lead magnet. We created the lead magnet, and we created the follow-up campaign for her that runs on autopilot at any hour of the day, any day of the week, and gives her leads value up front, and what I like to call kind of a risk-free glimpse into what it would look like or what it would be like to do business with Emma. And that's ultimately the reason that we create lead magnets, is we really want to provide that value and that education up front. We want to give the customer a glimpse into what would it look like to work with this person, or what would it look like if I tried this solution. Whether you have a product or you have a service, ultimately customers they're not necessarily buying your product, they're not even necessarily buying your service, they are buying the solution that you are providing through your product or your service. And you want your lead magnet to be an example of that. You want your lead magnet to grab the attention of those leads, and to educate them a little bit, to give them that glimpse of what it would be like to be on the other side of their problem. So let's dive right into my 7 secrets for creating a lead magnet. Actually, before we do, let me pull up the Zoom chat here, and when I am when I'm in my presentation, I'll be doing like a raise your hand sort of thing. But go ahead and tell me if you're here on the call. Does anyone already have a lead magnet? Are there any business owners on the call who already have a lead magnet? Second, I'd like to know, are there any business owners on the call who do not have a lead magnet, and you're here because you need to create one? So either you're a business owner, you have an existing lead magnet and you want to upgrade it or critique it, or maybe you're a business owner and you don't have one and you're here for the purpose of creating one. And then anyone who still doesn't know what a lead magnet is, just let me know. Awesome. So Nancy has one and needs more, maybe more info, maybe update it, tweak it a little bit. I love that. That's awesome. You're in the right place. So let's dive in to what those 7 secrets actually look like. Secret number 1, and this really seems pretty straightforward. Like a lot of these will kind of be aha moments for different people, but your lead magnet needs to be in a format that your audience will consume it. And this really does take a little bit of research and a little bit of knowing your audience well enough that if they're readers, a white paper or a checklist or something like that, or actually like a white paper or an ebook might do really, really well for them. If they are more doers, like they're kinesthetic learners, maybe a checklist or a cheat sheet or something that can produce a tangible experience for them would probably be better. Auditory learners might enjoy an audio, a PDF, or a video. And videos are really good also for people who are visual learners and need that visual as well. So definitely think about learning types, audio, visual, kinesthetic, and consider what format is it that my audience needs to hear or needs to see this information in so that they will absorb it. Secret number 2, your lead magnet should be consumable within 15 minutes or less. I would say the jury is somewhat out in terms of this. I've heard other marketers say that your lead magnet needs to be consumable in 5 minutes or less. They need to be able to read through it really quickly. But then you look at people like Tony Robbins or Marie Forleo. Like Marie's audio opt-in is like over an hour long, and it works really, really well for her because she knows her audience. So I try to say that your lead magnet should be consumable within about 15 minutes or less. And that way, that's a decent chunk of time. Like if you ask any business owner, hey, can you give me 10 or 15 minutes? Most of them in any given day should be able to say yes to that. And that's not an exorbitant amount of time for you to ask them to kind of pay attention to what you have, especially if you're giving them value. So consider something that's easy to implement, giving them tons of value up front, and then maybe getting a quick win in there as well. Something that they can implement almost instantly, like this. Secret number 3, your lead magnet needs to solve one and only one problem. I see this all the time when clients of mine are writing emails and they want that email to include 3 different calls to action. Or a client of mine is creating a lead magnet and they want, and you might be in the process of writing and say, okay, well, this is point number 1 and this is point number 2. Oh, but that leads into this piece and that leads into that piece, right? Like if you talk, for instance, about taking care of a pet, well, that includes grooming, that includes feeding, that includes vitamins, that includes exercise, that includes sleep, that includes brushing their teeth. It includes so many things and so many facets. But within 15 minutes, we don't have time for all of that. So if you are talking to somebody about them taking care of their pet or maybe their pet health, you would want to focus on diet or focus on vitamins or whatever it is in your business that is the problem that you're solving with the lead magnet. Focus and stay extremely focused on just that one thing, because if we tangent too much, if we tangent way too much, it's not going to be clear what the outcome is going to be for that client. Secret number 4, excuse me, your lead magnet needs to coincide with the mission of your business. That's pretty straightforward again, and that kind of goes back to that dog food example that I was talking about. If you are let's say like a pet care company or like a dog food distributor, you wouldn't necessarily talk about grooming or talk about vitamins. Maybe you would, but you really want to stay focused and make sure that the thing that you're talking about coincides with the mission of your business. Again, Marie Forleo, I always use her as an example, but she always says, a confused mind will not buy. So if you tangent too much, you get off on different tracks, you start talking about other things, if there's a disconnect there, you're going to lose your audience and you're going to lose them pretty quickly. And the mission of your business, if the mission of your business is to help clients through divorce, you're not going to talk about weight loss. If the mission of your business is dentistry, you might not talk about other things. So it seems pretty obvious, but it's very, very easy, even now as I'm talking, to tangent off onto other things and really miss the goal and the focus of what your lead magnet and that client's problem is supposed to be. Secret number 5, your lead magnet needs to be catchy and it needs to be clear. So I found one of the best ways to keep things catchy as well as clear is to use quantifiable language. Using numbers and statistics really will help our brain to focus and make things, really make things interesting. So it's one thing to say, a lot of people enjoy webinars, but it's a completely different thing to say that over 60% of all marketers today are using webinars as a marketing strategy. That's it. I mean, that changes the game, right? That completely changes the sentence. Using a number draws you in. Using a number brings in focus into what you're saying. And numbers, for a lot of people, will either bring clarity or they will be rememberable, or both. So using numbers and quantifiable language, other than just saying kind of umbrella or overarching things or phrases like a lot of people think this or the majority of people think that. But if you can say 75% of all business owners have to have this in their business, or 90% of all people don't I don't know, whatever your statistic is, use that quantifiable language to draw in your audience and to really to give clarity to what it is that you're talking about. Secret number 6, your lead magnet needs to deliver what it is that you promise. This is an example actually from my website. Is my lead magnet is the 7 secrets to crafting your perfect offer, or the 7 secrets to creating your lead magnet. And originally I was only going to do an audio and then I switched to doing a PDF, and now I actually have video, audio, and PDF to kind of cover all of my bases. But originally it was just going to be an audio, and this iPhone playlist was a visual example of what my lead magnet was going to be and what I was going to provide. So you want to make sure that if you are promising them a PDF, that's what you give them. If you're promising a checklist, give them a checklist. If you're promising an audio, give them a visual of what it is that they can expect, because then they're going to make that connection in their brain that this is the expectation that I have for when I receive this information, and they're going to be ready for it. And again, that goes back as well to secret number 1, I believe it was, talking about the different learning types, where someone can be visual, audio, or kinesthetic. If someone sees a PDF, well, maybe they may or may not want that. Maybe they want an audio. So you want to be representative of what it is that that you are actually going to give them. Secret number 7, research, research, research. And I think this kind of goes without saying, but you need to know what you're talking about. You need to check your statistics, check your quantifiable language, and test your lead magnet with friends or clients. I said in the previous slide that I started my lead magnet as an audio, and then when I was testing it, one of my colleagues said, I really loved that audio, but I was constantly looking for a visual. Like I needed something visual. And so then I went and created the PDF, and I went and used that PDF as a video and overlapped my audio with that video. And that became my video, PDF, and audio version that I can use. And I wouldn't necessarily recommend doing all 3. I chose to do all 3, and it worked really well for me. But make sure that you test your lead magnet with your friends or colleagues, because you'll get feedback like that is invaluable that you really wouldn't otherwise get. And I know I said that there were only 7 secrets, but I do have a bonus secret as always. And it wouldn't be an Infusionsoft talk. It wouldn't be an Infusionsoft conference if I didn't talk about the perfect customer life cycle and making sure that you follow up. So, if you're going to go through the trouble of creating your lead magnet, and you're going to go through the trouble of either marketing it or giving it away or buying Facebook ads to attract leads into your business, why would you go through all that trouble to then not follow up with them and not email them and not continue to be present either in their inbox or front of mind for your product or service? So this is pretty easy, pretty crucial, but pretty easy, pretty simple, but extremely important that we don't forget to follow up. So let's just recap those 7 secrets real quick. Make sure it's in a good format. You want it to be 15 minutes or less. Solve one and only one problem. Take a screenshot of this if you'd like, guys. Match the mission and the vision of your business, and make it clear and make it catchy. Deliver what you promise and what you say you're going to promise. Make sure you put in the research to get everything right, get your numbers right, test it, and then don't forget to follow up. I want to give you a couple of visuals. I know that this is a lot of strategy and a lot of talk, and I want to kind of cater to the visual people in the group. I want to give you a few examples that I just pulled super quickly. I don't there's only like one or two of these companies that I actually know personally. I just pulled these off Google as good examples for you guys to see. But 10 best makeup and beauty tips for women over 40. That is extremely specific. So makeup and beauty tips, and then we're targeting specifically women who are over the age of 40. I love that. I mean, I'm not 40 for another 8.5 years, but I would definitely download that just because it's very interesting and very visually appealing. Again, you can see they're showing you a visual of a book. You can assume that you're going to be getting some kind of a PDF or ebook download with this. I really love this example. This is a great example. Another one on the right, the 4 Facebook ads mistakes that are losing you money. That is a very catchy line. So, mistakes that are losing you money, that's that marketing sort of fear tactic. I'm not advocating using that necessarily, but I really like how catchy that is. That's a really good one as well. A couple more. Sam Bennett's is on the right. Get your procrastination domination starter kit. And there again is setting the expectations for what they're going to be receiving. The procrastination domination starter kit. So although she doesn't go into detail as to what a starter kit is necessarily, it's fair to say that we can kind of assume what that's going to be. Also, the book visual on the left, get free instant access to a cheat sheet for writing blog posts. That's a really good one. And then Tony Robbins, there's a book. He has a video version. The example on the left has a book. Again, those visuals of what they can expect to see and to receive when they download your lead magnet. Awesome. Well, that is my 7 secrets. However, like I said, it's really important for me to make sure that you guys leave with something tangible. So I want to actually walk you through the process right here and now of creating your lead magnet. For some of you, that might be really exciting. For some of you, that might be a little bit daunting. Either way, it's going to be great, and I am excited to be building this with you. So let's just jump right in to building our lead magnet. We're going to look at what is your business, what are the services and products that you offer to your audience or your customers, what's the end result that you're promising them. We're going to look at the layout of your lead magnet, more specifically the title. We're going to look at format, actually go through the creation process, and then I'll show you an example campaign for delivering your lead magnet that we have in just a minute. So let's jump into that. If you guys could grab, since this is the interactive portion, if you guys could grab a pen and paper, or if you want to grab like a Word document or a notepad or something on your computer, that would be just dandy. And I'll give you just a second to grab that. I'm sure some of you are already ready and prepared. Awesome. And I have mine as well. I have my notebook and my pen out, and I'm going to be walking through this with you as well. And then we can get some examples. So let's talk about your business. And I want you to actually write this out. So write I am, or I am a, and then you can draw a blank line or you can just leave it blank for now, but consider this. Who are you? What is it that you do? What do you do for others? What is your business? For some of you, this might be really easy to answer. Like, for instance, my mom and my sister are both nurses, and the profession of being a nurse really doesn't need much more explaining than to say that you're a nurse. Even globally, the word nurse is a pretty globally accepted word. But internet marketer or Infusionsoft certified partner. Those are terms that, excuse me, that don't necessarily resonate in the same way that that being a nurse resonates with other people. So if you say, I am a lawyer, I am a coach, I am a marketer, whatever it is, just consider, who are you and what is your business? And then as soon as you guys have that written down, should be pretty straightforward. Let's talk about your products. So what is the service? Well, first let's decide, are you providing a product or are you providing a service? So I would say, I am a business success strategist and I provide coaching and consulting services to my clients. Next, write down, what are the results that you're driving them towards? For a doctor, the result might be wellness. For a lawyer, maybe if you're a divorce attorney, the outcome that you're or the result that you're driving your clients towards is a smooth divorce, or a good transition in that time period of your life. For me, the result that I provide to my clients is ease of use of a software, and ultimately for them to get more leads, convert those leads, and grow their revenue. So I'm going to write that down. Grow, convert revenue. Awesome. And when you're thinking about results, consider the fact that your lead magnet really is a stepping stone to your greater offer. It can be, it can kind of hint towards your offer, or it can be a snippet of your greater offer. So for me, using my example, if my ultimate result is to help my clients get more leads and grow their revenue, I might say the title of my lead magnet might be three must-have ways to grow your revenue, or the three most important tips to growing your revenue online, something like that. Or it can be, in this particular case, it can be the first step of achieving that greater success. So something that I teach is creating a lead magnet, and your lead magnet really is the very first step of somebody becoming a client of yours. So consider those sort of stepping stones when you're thinking about what lead magnet to create. Sound good? Awesome. The next thing that we want to consider, again, is what is the end result? What is the product or service that you're providing to your customer? What are you driving them towards? I want them to achieve, success in business by revenue growth. Maybe if you're, what else can we say? What are some other examples of mine? A nonprofit. I have a nonprofit client, and maybe they want to, excuse me, maybe they, their end result is ultimately to make money and to raise money for their nonprofit. But the bigger picture is that they want their donors to feel as though they have contributed to an important cause, or a cause that's greater than themselves, more important than themselves. So whatever that feeling is, whatever that intention or goal is, go ahead and write that down. And think about, again, is there a problem that you actually solve? So relating back to my example, if my end result or my goal is to get clients to convert leads and grow their revenue, the problem that they're having is that they're not converting their leads, or they're not growing their revenue. So I might want to touch on that also. I can say the top 10 ways to get leads in your business, or the 5 most important strategies for doubling your revenue, something like that would be very applicable to my business. So go ahead and write down if there's a specific problem that you solve in your business or through your coaching or in your industry. Go ahead and write that down now. Great. And I want to show you a basic layout, and we're going to use this formula today, just so we have, again, so we have something and you have a tangible piece that you can walk away with from this talk. So the basic layout that I want you to start thinking of is 3. We're going to have 3 different things that we talk about. And I said in my example and in the examples I showed you earlier, 10 tips for doing this, 10 secrets to do that. My lead magnet is called 7 secrets for creating your lead magnet. But consider other words like tips or guidelines or even mistakes, right? You can mark it and play into that sort of fear factor in a way. So maybe you want to do 10 mistakes everyone makes when hiring a divorce lawyer, or I'm sorry, 3 mistakes. We'll keep it simple for today. Or the 3 guidelines for finding a new home. I deal with realtors a lot as well. So, or the 3 tips for finding your realtor, or finding a home, something like that. So whatever that is, however it applies to your business, go ahead and choose one of those words, or even make up your own if you'd like. And we're going to title our lead magnet, or opt-in that we're creating today. We're going to title that 3, whatever it is. I'm going to do 3 mistakes. 3 mistakes every marketer makes when trying to run Facebook ads, something like that. And whatever that is for you or means for your business, again, and if you need some inspiration, you can look at everything we just wrote down. What are the results that you're driving towards? What is it that you do in your industry and in your business? And think about those results that you provide. Give everybody a second to work on that. All right. Now that we have our title and we've got all of this good material written out for who we are, what we do, what are the results that we're driving towards, we need to start considering format. And the way that we do that, we want to think about what is it that we're writing. If I'm writing the 3 mistakes every marketer makes when running Facebook ads, or whatever your title is, am I trying to write a guide? Am I writing a cheat sheet? Am I writing a list? Am I writing a script? Because a guide, and this is just my definition of it, yours could be a little bit different, and there's no right or wrong. But my guide might be a little bit more written out, whereas a list might be more bullet points, and a script is going to be much, much more written out. If I were to write a script for this presentation, it's going to be a lot longer and a lot wordier than maybe a guide or a list would be. So consider what it is that you want to write. And I would say for now, at least just for this exercise, everyone should probably write a list, because we can at least get those bullet points and get to version 1.0 rather than version 0.0, so that you have something tangible to walk away from this call on. Awesome. Next, your 3 tips must do the following things. And this goes back to the 7 secrets that we talked about a little bit earlier. It has to match your mission. It needs to lead into your offer, and it needs to solve one problem. So again, go back and just make sure that in those exercises we did a minute ago, that you wrote out each of those things. What is the problem that you solve for? What is the offer that you're presenting? And what is the mission of your business? And if you don't have any of those, go ahead and write them out now. I'm gonna write mine real quick. No leads. And your offer, let's just touch on that for a second, because your offer could be one of two things. Your offer could be your initial offer, whether that's a $20 to $100 initial product offering, or that's a free consultation, or it's a membership or something like that. Whatever your offer, your initial offer is, it needs to lead into that. And then the mission of your business as well. Awesome. So now that we have all of that written out, we've got some really, really good content here. Let's talk about creation. So we want to write out these 3 tips with our format in mind. Like I said, we're going to be writing a list just so we have something tangible here today. But let's go ahead and actually create that now. So if my lead magnet is the 3 mistakes that all marketers make when they are running Facebook ads, I'm going to say number 1 would be, and this obviously will change for everybody's industry, but number 1 might be for me, too many words inside of an image, which Facebook does not allow. And a lot of people will try to do that, and then it's wrong, and then they have to go back, and it wastes a little bit of time to have to redo your image over and over and over again with less and less and less words. Number 2, I think they spend too much money up front, whereas you should usually start with around $5 to $10 a day and then build up your revenue once you have a tangible Facebook ad that works really well for your business. And then mistake number 3 that I see a lot of Facebook marketers making is their audience, the audience that they're running their ad to, isn't specific enough. Or actually, I take that back, that it's too specific. So Facebook ads likes to see a broad-ish range between what is it, like at least 100,000. It has to be at least 100,000 people up to about 1 million or so, maybe 2 million. If you get any broader than that, the algorithm doesn't quite know what to do. If you get too specific, the algorithm isn't like there's not enough opportunity for it to kind of do whatever the secret Facebook algorithm does. And for other people, again, your industry might be different. So one of the guys that attends my user group meeting in Orlando that Cheryl's been to. Hi, Cheryl. Thanks for joining me. One of my Infusionsoft user group attendees, he sells real estate. And so his 3 mistakes everyone makes when trying to sell their home, or 3 mistakes business owners make when they're trying to sell what is the word? Business real estate or whatever it is, right? I don't know his industry. I don't know his jargon, but he might write something like that. And then his list could be, they sell too fast or they sell too slow. They underbid, they underestimate or underbid whatever the cost is, or they overestimate or overbid whatever the cost is going to be. So once you have that written out, that really is at least the beginning of your lead magnet. And really it's pretty gosh darn close to done. If you're going to do a script, you're going to write out more. If you're going to do a video or an audio, you're going to write out quite a bit more. But I did my audio with bullet points, and then I just talked. I had the luxury of doing so inside of what is the video software? Camtasia. I did mine inside of Camtasia, and I just sat there exactly like I'm doing now in my office with my headphones. I had my bullet points. I talked on my different points that I had, and I recorded it. And even when I messed up, I would pause and have a little bit of silence, and then I would start over again. And then I probably recorded about an hour and a half or more of audio, which then turned into about 18 minutes of audio when I edited it down. So you can do something like that and have those bullet points in front of you that are talking points that you can then go and trust your instincts, and that you know your business and what you're talking about, and share that with the world. The last secret that I showed you, the bonus secret number 8, is don't forget to follow up. So when we have this piece created, we need to consider delivery. And so here is just obviously an extremely simple Infusionsoft campaign that is just the lead magnet inside of a landing page with an opportunity for them to give you their name and email address. Then you want to tag them saying that they opted into your lead magnet. You want to give them whatever it is that you promised. You want to deliver it via email. If you have a PDF or something simple that's a small-ish sized file, you can actually upload that file into Infusionsoft, and it will basically become an attachment to that email, and you can send it off there. If you have a larger file, like my audio file was really big, and even my PDF when I made it was a really big file. So I uploaded mine onto Amazon S3, and I think you can get an S3 account for free. And it's a really great place to house a lot of that stuff. Or you can use Dropbox, but Dropbox is paid. You can use Google Docs, but you have to be careful with the permissions so that you're not sharing it out to anybody who doesn't have permission with that. But Amazon S3 is a great place to do that. And then you want to make sure inside of your campaign that you have some kind of a follow-up. So whether that's going to be whether you'd send your delivery email and then a few minutes or a few hours or even a day later, you're going to be talking with that person or interacting and sending them emails, or maybe a week later. And then you want to build, I would say, at least 3 follow-up emails. The first is obviously your delivery email. The second follow-up email is, hey, what did you think about that? Give me some feedback. Did you have a chance to read it? Second follow-up email is, this was point number 2 is one of my favorite points, and here's why. And then you can talk in more detail about point number 2. And then your third follow-up email is going to be a little bit of your pitch. So whatever product it is that you're leading into, whatever it is that you want to offer them or to give them, whether it's a free consultation or they're buying a product or they're leading into a membership, you can go ahead and do that there inside of your third follow-up email. So just to wrap up, when you're thinking about your lead magnet and you're creating it, which we just did, and now you're going to go home and tweak it and get some more ideas and those creative juices flowing, consider, what do you do? What's the end product or service that you're talking about? What's the result that you provide? Give them a glimpse into what it would be like to work with you, or what it would be like to achieve the result that your product or service gives them. Consider formatting, go through the process of creation, and then deliver that lead magnet or that opt-in to your client. So thank you all so much for being here. I am thrilled that, one, I'm astounded that I actually did this with about 20 seconds to spare. My timing is right on point, so that's really exciting. But also thank you for dedicating the time on a Wednesday evening at almost 8 p.m. I'm really hungry right now. To building your business and to growing something and to providing to providing and sharing your knowledge with your audience, so that you can reach the masses and that you can have a greater impact on this world as we all want. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining and being a part of this. I really appreciate your time. I am going to, what am I going to do?